and thank you for watching. On today's show,
we have the AVIC 6100 NEX, the brand new touchscreen nav from Pioneer. We're going to tell you all about it, so stay tuned. Alright, so we got the 6100 here. Let's open it up, take it out of the box, and tell you all about it. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
Alright, so we have the auxiliary extension.
Tenemos el cable del auxiliar.
And just in case why you're wondering why we have an auxiliary extension and a USB extension for that matter.
Tenemos la extensión del USB.
All they're located on the back, so you need to be able to bring them around to the front. Alright, bag of screws.
Tornillos.
A power plug.
Cable de corriente.
Bluetooth microphone.
Un micrófono.
It has a paper installation and quick start guide.
Tenemos papeles. Papers.
I got that.
Okay.
Papers, please. The owner's manual is on a CD-ROM.
So, en realidad el manual está en este disco, so no lo pierdan.
Papers, please. Okay, so one of the new things with these radios for 2015, Pioneer has finally figured out you need a remote control. That's right. It comes with a remote control now. Finally. It's only taken them a really long time to figure out that you people want these. Everyone asks. PAC even made an adapter so you could add one to it. I know, pitiful. But it finally comes with one. Yeah.
So este sí viene con control remoto.
I know. That's a big deal. Get excited. Alright, so as usual, we're going to show you the back first.
Basically.
That was bad. Papers, please. Papers. Show me your papers. I don't have my papers. I used them to wipe my butt. Okay, so we got this guy right here. Let's talk about the back, shall we?
Okay.
Alright, so to start, as usual, let's look at the 6-channel 4-volt preamp output. Now, this is where it gets weird. These are the subwoofers.
So, tenemos la salida del subwoofer.
Now, over here, this bundle of joy, we have the rear RC output.
Tenemos la salida de la parte trasera.
And then we'll dig down deeper and we'll find the white ones. And we have the front RC outputs.
Y tenemos los RCA de frontal.
And since we're playing with all these, we might as well keep going. We have the video input.
Tenemos la entrada de video.
Now the cool thing about this video input is it's selectable as a video input or a second camera.
Ok, so este puede ser la entrada de video o en realidad puede ser una cámara frontal o lo que tú quieras utilizar.
And then we also have an audio input.
So tenemos entrada de audio.
And then we have a mute wire.
Tenemos el mute wire.
And you might ask, why do I need a mute wire? For most applications you won't. Really the only thing we ever use them for is if we're trying to retain OnStar. We'll mute the radio while the little OnStar chick talks. Okay, so over here, the little tiny guy right here, this is the Bluetooth microphone input.
So tenemos la entrada del micrófono.
This guy right here is where your factory antenna would plug in.
La entrada de la antena.
Alright, we have the Sirius XM input right here.
La entrada del Sirius XM.
This is the Maestro Link input.
La entrada del Maestro Link.
And these two very similar looking and often confused inputs over here. This is your auxiliary input, this one right here.
Esa es la entrada del auxiliar.
And this is your wired remote input.
Y esa es la entrada para las funciones del volante.
Now this plug here is the home for the radio plug, which houses a 50 watt by 4 amplifier.
So recuerden que este tiene 50 watts por 4 y tenemos la entrada del cable principal.
Now moving over here, we have the rear view camera input.
Tenemos la entrada para la cámara reversa.
We have the video output.
Tenemos la entrada.
As well as over here, the other one that's often confused with these guys over here, we have the rear audio output. You can use these guys to feed a aftermarket rear seat entertainment, such as a headrest or drop down.
So tenemos salida de audio y obviamente SDI es también salida de audio por si quieres utilizar una pantalla extra.
Now we have two USBs, USB 1, USB 2.
Tenemos dos entradas del USB.
And if you remember, it only comes with an extension for USB 1.
Eso solamente viene con una extensión del USB.
Over here we have where the GPS antenna goes.
La entrada del GPS.
And what makes this radio so sexy is this hole right here, which is the HDMI input.
So recuerden que este tiene HDMI.
Yeah. Alright, so that's the back of the radio and all the cool little orifices it has for you to play with. Kinky. Let's spin it around, we'll power it up, and we'll tell you all about the goodness on the front. So we've got it spun around, we've got it powered up, we got all our stuff plugged in. Let's start talking about it, shall we? So to start out with, we have a 6.2 inch, brand new, LED backlit, clear resistive touchscreen.
Ok, so tenemos 6.2 pulgadas, pantalla táctil, y recuerden que este es brillante.
I know, right? Alright, now it has a multicolor for the buttons, as well as 5 display colors.
So tenemos 5 diferentes colores.
But I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So before we can demo that, let's get through the opening, shall we? You can pick what language you want. It has 5 languages to choose from.
So tenemos 5 tipos de lenguajes.
Alright. This is your smartphone setup. This is where you're going to tell it what type of phone you have. For right now, we'll just leave them on the defaults. But other is Android, and then whatnot. You get the idea.
So recuerden que others o otros son Androids.
Okay, so now we'll go over here and we'll go to the paint palette. That's what we wanted. Alright, so we've got 13 backgrounds to choose from.
Tenemos 13 fondos de pantalla.
And how they come up with that number is beyond me, because it really isn't, but I think it has to do with different colors. Since we're talking about colors, over here, we can change the colors of these buttons, multicolor.
So tenemos una pantalla multicolor, obviamente.
We can make them any color we want. Did purple last time. Let's do some blue. Alright, get out of here. Alright, and we'll change the background so we can put any kind of, we'll change it to everyone's favorite. We'll hit apply, and then we'll change the color. And there we go.
Oh, well, GPS.
I don't know GPS now. Okay, so we're back to, let's go to the AV source, and we'll go there, so we can look at a radio. Alright, so let's take a look at the EQ. Go ahead and get out of the maps, hit mode. Alright, we'll go ahead and tap the little gear there, and we'll come down here to the radiating speaker. Tap that. Oh, you know what, hold on, before we do that, we gotta put on radio. A source has to be on in order to adjust the EQ. Alright, speaker. Alright, so we have a 13-band graphic equalizer, real quick. Yep, that's it. We have balance and fader, mute. We have rear speaker on and off. The reason why they give you that is in case you're doing multi-zone, meaning the kids are watching something in the back and they don't want to hear your music, you can turn off the rear speakers. You can turn on and off the subwoofer for the same reason. You can adjust the speaker level on all 5 speakers. Do you want to catch up? No? Okay. Has a crossover, front, rear, and sub. Listening position. Time alignment. As well as you can do the auto EQ setting. On this one, the auto EQ setting is done through the Bluetooth microphone input. It has wideband speech recognition for hands-free calling. Right.
So recuerden que este tiene una banda mucho más ancha para llamadas.
Yeah. It also has Bluetooth streaming for music.
So tiene también el Bluetooth de música inalámbrica.
Now, when you're doing hands-free calling, when you're in the hands-free calling, it has hands-free calling.
Oh.
No, it has voice recognition. Yeah, that's what it's called. All right, so basically what I'm trying to get at here is if you have an Android phone, this is more for you, or if you have an iPhone and you don't want to do CarPlay. We're going to talk, this is really where the Bluetooth thing comes in, because this is what you'll be using 90% of the time.
Yes.
Well, actually all the time if you're an Android user. Okay, so check it out. So what we got is, this is the phone menu. So if you come over here and you tap phone, it'll pull this up. You can zoom through here, or you can tap over here. Okay, you can check out your ingoing, outgoing calls. You can dial old school, or you can tap that. Now if you hit this, this is going to This is going to launch either Android, Talkie, whatever, Google Voice, or it's going to launch Siri. All right, Siri Eyes Free. Siri's Eyes Free, you can do all kinds of neat stuff with.
Oh yeah. Stop right there.
Yeah. We'll do it simple. Does the lightning play tonight?
Checking. Sorry, I can't search the web for that while you're in the car.
Okay. As you can see, she's fun. But as far as the music goes, the music is really cool because it'll do a full folder search. So we need to switch the radio over, though, to let it know that we want to do Bluetooth, because right now it's set up for USB 1 and Carplay. We don't want to do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to come over here, I'm going to X out of that, we're going to hit the gear, we're going to come to Tools, we're going to go to Input Output Settings, we're going to click Smartphone Setup, and then we're going to switch it to Bluetooth. Okay, now for just shits and giggles, let's say we go ahead, we're going to switch it over to there, and then we do the same thing. Okay, if you'll notice it's saying USB 2. The reason why it says USB 2 is because USB 1 is strictly for an iPod or an iPhone. So if you have an iPod that you want to play all your music from, but then have the option to do things over Bluetooth with your Android phone, you could still do that. Just plug your iPod into USB 1, you'll get full control of that, as well as Bluetooth streaming, Bluetooth phone calls, and of course the same will work for an iPhone. If you use USB 2, you can do an iPod out of that, so you can have an iPod hooked up. You get the idea. Alright, we'll scroll over through here. Alright, and now we'll tap this, and we get a whole different drop-down menu. We have Bluetooth audio here. Now, if we can come over here, and yep, and click playlists, go there, go through music, we'll tap that. So this will allow us to play our music, full search capability, nothing funky going on. And we can do Pandora. And there you go, there's Pandora playing. You can come over here, and you can do all your stations. You can find new ones. You can do anything you do on your phone. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever turns you on. Now, if you'll notice, this is album artwork right here, right? Okay. Before you ask, and everyone always does, Bluetooth audio on an iPhone will not stream album artwork. Doesn't do it. For some reason, I don't know. Pandora, on the other hand, over Bluetooth, will. Alright, so if you're really that guy that needs to have the album artwork, you're going to want to plug it into USB. Otherwise, play Pandora all day long.
Yep.
Now, this does have a removable face, okay, and not the whole face, just this little piece right here. This little guy, this little piece, you put this, and this little thing comes off. Okay, and then that's it. You want to say removable?
Okay, so recuerden que este tiene una pequeña pantallita aquí que tú la puedes quitar y poner.
This does have an HD radio. So that means you get simulcast. So if you come over here and you tune in to an HD radio station, which we'll pick one right here, we just so happen to have. Alright, where it says analog and HD right over here, this little spot. What you want to do is you want to wait till it says digital. It'll light up HD1 here. You can tap this little guy and you can take it to the HD2 channel, which is a totally different channel. If you want to make it a preset, you can do that too. Press and hold. Now you have an HD2 preset. Cool. Alright, it's also an AM/FM CD player and a DVD too.
So recuerden es AM, FM y CD.
This will do Apple CarPlay.
So recuerden que este también hace el CarPlay.
And how you do Apple CarPlay is through USB 1. You do need an iPhone. This does not have that new other service for the other phone. This just has Apple CarPlay. Okay.
So recuerden que este no es para el otro teléfono, solamente es para el iPhone CarPlay.
So if you plug in your iPhone to
USB 1.
USB 1, alright, CarPlay will come up, and you can do all your little CarPlay things. Alright, how exciting is that? This has GPS. Now you might be asking yourself, well, yeah, but my phone has GPS, so why do I need this GPS? It's a real simple answer. Have you ever been driving along, trying to make a phone call, and all of a sudden you can't make a phone call? Well, flip that to you're driving along, relying on your phone to tell you where you need to go, and then all of a sudden it drops, or you're in the middle of nowhere and you want to know how to get home and you have no cell service, pretty much paint any picture you want where your phone is deciding to be stupid because your carrier sucks. That's where an in-dash GPS comes in handy. The other nice thing too is if you're one of the people that drive everywhere and you're constantly GPS. Well, it uses a lot of data if you're on your phone. This is built in. It's free. It's paid for. We won't say free because you had to pay for it. So those are really the arguments that we try to pose to our customers as far as, do we need GPS? Am I just a weekend warrior? Where am I going? How well is my coverage? Okay, so how do you get to the GPS in this guy? Real simple. Touch the button that says Maps. Alright, so this is a fresh out-of-the-box GPS system, so now it's going to ask us language. What language do we want it to set up as? Unlike the radio that only has your choice of 5, this guy has a choice of a ton. Okay, so the GPS will do quite a few. Alright, we're going to select, move forward here. Now we have to do a little bit of setup, so we'll hit accept. Click next. When you're going to pick what service you want, there's a male voice, there's a female voice, of course, but then you'll notice this little guy right here that says TTS. TTS is text-to-speech. Text-to-speech is my personal favorite because she says, or she tries to say, the name of the streets and gives you a little bit more data than just turn left, turn right ahead. So I prefer text TTS.
Have a nice trip.
Thank you.
Drive carefully.
I will. Thank you for asking. If you come down here, there's TTS in pretty much every language. Okay, so you're covered. All right, we'll click next. Next thing, these are just simple. If you we live in the U.S., so we're gonna pick miles instead of meters and all that other fun stuff. Down here, you can set the currency. Basically, you're gonna tell it where you live. Type in dollar. I type in USA. Basically, you just need to type in something. We'll click yay. All right, we'll click next. And then this is basically how you drive. You're driving on the highway. You don't like to drive on the highway. You're going to use toll roads, ferries. You tell it, you set it up. So, if you don't want to use toll roads, you tell it, don't use toll roads. It's smart enough to know not to put you on a toll road. That way you won't get stuck. It might take you the really farthest way known to man, but, hey, whatever. You won't be doing toll roads. Alright, so the unit's set up. Right now it's set up for night mode. It'll be flip that, meaning it'll be bright white during the day. The 6100, unlike its younger brother, the 5100, this one has total traffic. It also is going to have more points of interest. So basically what that means is it'll give you, total traffic will give you traffic alerts. So the roads will appear red if
they have traffic.
If you have traffic. So that's a built-in feature. Well, now that we've set up the unit, we can actually have it take us somewhere. Alright, so to do that, you're going to hit this little guy right here, and it's going to come and ask you for a new route. You can type in an address, you can type in a place, you can type in a save location, you type in coordinates. And if you type in an address, this is going to come. It's going to ask you the same questions as you've been asked by every GPS system on the planet. Where are you going, where are you at, and the name of the street you want to get to. Alright, so X out of there. You can zoom in. You can spin it. And then you just tap this guy right here, and it'll take you back to where you were. You can do this. These are your POIs right here. How cool is that? You tap on that. Start as a destination. Okay. You get the idea. So it's pretty helpful. So, it's GPS. Who hasn't used GPS? This has got it. Alright, so that's basically everything this thing's got for the most part. Nice little radio. That's all I got to say. Nice little radio.
6.2.
6.2. This is the bigger brother of the 5100. Hey guys, thanks for watching. We do a bunch of these. We got videos in just about everything. So if you want to know more about the EQ or how to do the HD radio, we got a video on it, so check it out. As always, thank you for watching. You can find us
on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Ah, damn. All right, guys. Have a nice night, and we'll catch you next time.